Hello, everyone. On today's show of Do Something for the Kids Incorporated podcast, we got a little twist going on. Usually I'm the co-host, but today I guess he's letting me run the show. So I'm interviewing Mr. Ernest Brown, CEO of Do Something for the Kids Incorporated. And for those that don't know, me and him go back 20 plus years. We met each other in college. At first he didn't like me, but we're going to say we got past that once we find out we had a lot in common.
He was from St. Paul's, y'all. No.
No, well, from St. Paul's, and this is rolling, but we got along. And now I guess we're here to try to get some resources. But today I'm introducing Mr. Brown, and I want to give him his flowers while he's here, like he said. I began by looking at him first when he first started talking about Do Something for the Kids. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence maybe, But after a while, I got to see him really come to fruition with what he harvested, and it all there. And I just want to commend him for that, And with the interview, I don't want to just jump into it. I just got to ask him a few questions that I always had, in my mind. So with that being said, Mr. Brown, growing up, what inspired you to want to be the person that you are and do so much for other people?
Well, thank you for having me on today, Mr. Stevens. This is funny, y'all, because I actually let Sean run this show today, and it's going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of love shared because I probably trust this dude my whole life. One of few people I actually trust to that measure. But to answer your question, Sean, you ever heard the phrase, you come from good stock? And, growing up in the South, when I say come from good stock, you come from a family of good people. Everything might not be perfect, but the people that you're around taught you perfect values, perfect beliefs, perfect manners, if you want to say that. So my grandma, Ressie Wallace, Lord rest her soul. My aunt, Evangelist Helen Strickland, Lord rest her soul. Also my aunt, Leester Brown, Lord rest her soul. Taught me a lot of different values. And I picked those three people because the person that I am, kind of when I lost those people, I kind of got developed at those times. And saying that, my Aunt Helen is the reason why I do so much for kids today. She literally gave me the opportunity to watch her hands-on, I'm going to say. There's a path between my house and my aunt's house I used to walk through every day. And even as a young man, everybody had a story. My aunt did hair. Everybody had a story when you go to my house about me. It is funny. You have to just ask a lot of people. I mean, I can't tell y'all every story, but it's funny because it didn't matter what day I went over there, what time. As soon as she told somebody it was me, their mouth dropped and they had a story. And so she ended up raising foster kids. And I remember being 14, 15 years old. And she had these three foster kids that was brought into the family that was family. And one was like two. No, one was a baby, the other one was two, and the other one, I think she was like 5 or 6, 7 years old at the time. But, I actually had to learn how to take care of people. And not that I was told to, it just I had to learn. My grandma, Ressie Wallace, always did amazing things with little, you know what I'm saying, Sean? And I know from meeting your family, your grandma did the same thing. Bless her, Lord rest her soul too. Ressie Wallace was an amazing lady. I still remember Christmas when I used to go over there early in the morning, and it would never fail. She could spot somebody from her chair throughout the window and door from probably like 6 miles away. I'm exaggerating, y'all, but it seemed like a long mile from Southside Asheville Elementary School to where the family house was at. But she used to see, people walking, and there was one man walking. We called Shorty used to walk with a cane. She seen Shorty walking down one Christmas morning. She literally told everyone to stop that man. And we look at grandma, what we gonna stop that man for? Like, it's Christmas, but we know him, but that ain't family. Yeah. And she was like, I don't care, stop the man. And the one of the most beautiful things happened at that time. My grandma sent somebody to the back. And she didn't care. She didn't have no gift for this man, but she made a gift. She pulled out some socks, underwear, something, wrapped it up. I told the man to come to the door. She offered him some coffee and gave him them socks, wrapped up. That's who the person she was. And then I looked at that as I kept growing older, and I was like, why? And I started realizing once I started giving back myself, why you do that. Now, my aunt Lee Esther Wallace, which that was her maiden name, but Brown, she ended up marrying into the Brown family, was an amazing lady. When I used to go over there and chill with my grandma, my cousins and everything, like I remember the meatballs she used to cook made from scratch, like rolling that meatball up and everything. And so like she, had a whole family to take care of and my grandma, but she made sure you had something as well. Now she was quiet. She wouldn't say much, but if you ever got that fire lit, it was hell to pay. I'm sorry for cussing, but it was hell to pay. But those three people taught me a lot of valuable lessons of how to treat people, how to do things for people and how to get things back in life. And I wouldn't be the man I am today without those three people. Now, there's several other people, but I have to bring those three out because that's who I am, And I could say it like that. Like, Sean, we could talk about this all day. But I think we'll be here probably another 5 hours trying to figure out who all had an influence on my life. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll pick those three for now. And, very special people. Very special people.
Understand that. Well, let's get to Do Something for the Kids Incorporated. What was your inspiration behind beginning that?
Again, those three people, but life. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people consider me Tommy from Martin. And I got this little chuckle, but I'm serious, y'all. Like, nobody really knew the job I did. Nobody knew if I worked or not. They just knew I had money. I show up. I could do certain things, and I'd be like, all right, I'll be right back. Where you going, Trey? I'll be right back. And I'll come back with something. They were like, man, you ain't go to work. Like, no, I went to work. Where you work at? Down the street. But seriously, though, from that passion and consideration and people taking time with me as a kid, and growing up, and I was blessed to be able to have certain jobs where I was able to help kids. So for probably a good 14, 15-year period, I worked in the mental health section. And mental health is a weird situation, and I'm saying this in a good way because you get to actually be more than just a mental health provider. I was a teacher, a mentor, a counselor. I was everything, without having these official titles, because we worked in the school system, we worked with kids, we worked with parents, we worked with everybody. So I built relationships with people over the years that really stood out to me. Now, as for Do Something for the Kids in particular, as I embarked on the journey of life to go to Indianapolis, Indiana, I was working at a company and I met a parent who I thought was going to be one of my worst parents ever. She was determined, on point with a lot of stuff. I mean, she came in with a stack of paperwork this high about her child. And, at first you get a little intimidated when you meet certain parents in a mental health setting. You're like, oh, man, you got, I don't know what I could do for you. You got it. She was ready. Like, this is the most prepared parent I've ever had in my life. And I was honest with her. I told her, say, hey, man, I'm going to get your kids situated. We're going to provide these type of services, but I'll be honest with you, I'll probably be leaving within a month or so. And she looked at me like, leaving? Where are you going? No, company didn't want me to say this kind of stuff, but I'm me. I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, this is where you build relationships at. And I will always say this, the company may write your check. The parent in that aspect is the one that actually insures your check. And if you ever work in mental health, you may understand that, but if you don't, when the parent realizes their value, their worth, and what it means, they will know that they are the ones that hold the key, not the company. And I'm not taking nothing away from any company, because every company I worked for had its plus and its bad, some more plus than others. However, I always live by this motto, because at the end of the day, you can get replaced. And it's sad to say that, but it's just a life of job. But what you can't replace is the effect that you have on somebody's life or somebody's child. So this lady, and I'm not going to mention her name today, but if y'all want to know, I will tell you. She was an amazing person. And the reason why I say that, because like literally the relationship turned from me being kind of fearful of her to me actually admiring the energy and respect and attitude she had towards what she was trying to provide for her child. And so with that being said, I left from here and I struck out to find knowledge. I struck out to seek improvement. And I will stay in contact with her from time to time. And she literally told me, like, Ernest, we're going to come up there and see you. Now, who do you know is going to drive 11 hours to come see somebody, all on the strength of them just helping their child? And that meant the world to me, because I still got contact from parents and other people that wanted to know how I was doing. They wanted to tell me how their child was doing. Wanted to let me know where the child was at. How can I help? And so it was like, how do I build something to actually help people? That's how Do Something for the Kids came about. And everybody that had an aspect in that thought process, I've tried to go back and thank. So if I haven't thanked you right now, I'm telling you today, thank you for helping me become the man that I am to develop Do Something for the Kids Incorporated, so we can rebuild this village to help your child, the next child, any child in this community that we're trying to build. To be honest with you, Sean, it's like every day I look at something that has Do Something for the Kids on it, I kind of get emotional, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, I saw this. And the people don't believe you when you see certain things. That's something else I had to learn. It's like, you could tell everybody, hey, man, this is going to work, this is going to work. I got you, man. High five. Good job.
Yeah.
But who's actually going to stand behind you and be there with you? So it's like, Sean's not lying to y'all. I had to actually really convince him to see this vision. And he was, there was a lot of conversation, a lot of talks. Like, I come in, I'm sporadic. Hey, Sean, such, get ready to work. What you talking about? Do something for the kids. Okay. I got you. You down, Sean? Yeah. And if y'all know that, it ain't that he's saying no. It's like, what else is what's the meat potatoes behind it? Sean, don't worry about the meat potatoes. I got that. And if y'all know me, I may not tell you the meat potatoes out the gate, but the meat potatoes is already there on the table, ready for you to eat. If I'm coming to you, the plate's fixed. We just got to go to the table and eat. So that's kind of where we at, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I think about it, I get emotional about it, And so, like, you see me wearing it all the time. I literally replaced my whole closet with Do Something for the Kids. Except for Nike. I still keep some Nike in there. But other than that,
I'm in a lot of it too. I mean, even before all of this, I still have my first hat. Well, not the brown one. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. The brown one, but I got the red and black one. I do have that.
Let's not talk about that brown, because that brown is the most exclusive original Do Something for the Kids hat. I regress.
Well,
we got stories for days, y'all. Hey, we don't have enough time to tell y'all everything, but we're gonna try today.
Yeah, we just got. Let's say, what population do you plan on targeting with Do Something for the Kids, and why?
In the beginning, I think I was more focused on the population of kids that we service, which was like 5 to 21. But as I kept venturing in life, and especially my time in the end, I realized it's bigger than that. Even when I was down here, I realized it was bigger than that. But there was resources for this, there was resources for that. But where can you actually teach a kid something? But then you have to realize if you teach the kid and the parent don't have the knowledge, where are you at? So I had to start thinking about everybody. So I'm gonna say originally, and it's still anywhere from 4 to 5 to 21 years old. But the knowledge doesn't stop there. We expand the knowledge where it's needed. So we're looking at providing information to parents for job readiness training, job interviews, social skill building, vocational skill building. I'm trying, in a sense, like, me and Sean, I don't know, did y'all have people to go to Hilly Branch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had going to
So-
Hilly Branch, take that bus from St. Paul's to Wilmington.
It wouldn't never let me go to Hilly Branch, and I'm still mad about that to this day. And the only reason I'm mad about it because once you get in life and you realize Hilly Branch was teaching you how to get ready for life. Even if you was on the college prep course, you still, to me, need Hilly Branch. So what we're trying to do is find a way to not necessarily build another Hilly Branch, but provide information, skills, and knowledge to every person from every walk of life in some capacity. Because that person that was at Hilly Branch 20 years ago is now a parent. Mm-hmm. And that child needs that knowledge as well as that parent needs that knowledge.
Okay. Well, I guess with that, we can stay in the same. We'll stay in the same area. Well, what are some barriers you see hindering our community and our youth from receiving those resources to see?
I would go with the actual obvious, which is crabs in a barrel. And take away race from it. We all are crabs in a barrel to some degree. I may see you doing well, like, dang, Sean got a great car. I don't know how Sean got his great car. When I'm mad at Sean got a great car, and this is hypothetical, I care less about the car people. But being honest with y'all, if you look at life and you see somebody with something more than you have, you wondering how they got it, you question how they got it, you might be happy for them, but you're hating, or you just strictly hating. Me, I'm happy for everybody. I want to see everybody reach the top. I have sacrificed my own money, happiness, well-being to make sure everybody goes to the top. And I do feel like the barrier is we don't sacrifice enough. We pull instead of push. We grab instead of hold. And then it sounds backwards, but we hold instead of grab. Now, I'm going to stick with this part first. Grab instead of hold. Then we hold instead of grab. So we'll grab something and we'll hold on to that knowledge. And then when we grab it again and we see somebody looking at what we grabbed, I could pass it to you, but I don't. I'm holding on to it. And then
sometimes people don't want, I guess I would say people don't want people to make it where they at. I mean, and especially where you from, I mean, we see it every day,
Listen, if you ever heard me talk, Robson County is a trap. Roland is a trap. St. Paul's a trap. I could name every city, town in that county, and it's a trap. But once you get away, you realize every place is the same. It's just bigger. So I'm going to give you a key standpoint, Sean. Like, I've stayed in a few places in my life, but Indiana's my home. And people say, well, you ain't from Indiana. No, I'm from Roland, North Carolina. That's home, first and foremost. But Indiana felt home to me. And when I got to Indiana, I'm like, and I'm walking around and I'm looking like, okay, I'm kind of nervous. It's a bigger place. I heard this about it. Then you get into it and you realize, oh, this area just like such and such. So what I realized is that Indianapolis, Indiana was just like North Carolina, but you have to wrap up everything in it. It was Indianapolis, Indiana was Fayetteville, Raleigh, Durham, High Point, Greensboro, Charlotte, Greenville. Name a place. It was all that wrapped up in one. It was Roland. There was areas I went through that reminded me so much of Roland, how it used to be. that literally, once I went through it, I was like, man, if I can make it here, anybody can make it here. And that's the whole key that we got to start to realize is that we can't be afraid to take risks. We can't be afraid to go grab some more knowledge. We can't be afraid to do something different. Home is home. If you, and I'm gonna say this to anybody listening, if you can make it in Rowland, North Carolina, you can make it in St. Paul's, North Carolina, you can make it in Fayetteville, North Carolina, if you can make it anywhere within a Robinson County, Cumberland County, or any of these current surrounding counties that you think is small, you're actually the big fish in the big pond in these bigger places. Because your moxie, your bravado, your energy is what they're going to feed off of. While you're thinking that, oh, I'm not prepared for this place. Everything that you've been through back home will prepare you for these places. Like, I stayed in New York City for a little while. New York is home to me. And people look at, man, you're from the country. How can you get used to New York? Once you learn how to ride the train or the bus, everything else is clockwork. Just remember where you at. Remember what you want. Remember what you're trying to do. Remember who you are, and you'll never fail.
Well, I mean, I get that. What would you? I'll put it this way: we do something for the kids. What would you want to accomplish? Like your overall, like the biggest thing that you want to accomplish with this. When you first thought of do something for the kids, what did you want to accomplish? I mean, I know now it has grown, but when it first came about,
I wanted to give hope. And I guess that's the best way to say it. I wanted to give hope to people. It may seem like I got everything and everything's moving a certain way, but at the end of the day, it was just like, I'm just a regular guy just like you. I cry just like you. I bleed. I got pain. I go through problems just like you. If I could persevere, you can too. And, it goes back to, I lost my son May 24th, 2012. We're going on 9 years now. His birthday is February 27th, 2008. Several kids have come in my life through the time that before he was born and the time after he was born. And I remember looking at my son, Tristan LaJohn Brown, as he was born and being sick from 2 days old. And trying to figure out, is this the world that I want him to live in? It was tough. I mean, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's like, I expected to be this father that was going to be able to play with his son, do all this stuff, teach him everything that I failed at so he wouldn't do it. Like my path was NFL football player. I quit football at age 15. 16 rather, let me take that back. 15, life started changing. 16, I quit football. And a lot of people are like, man, you're making a mistake. And I'm like, nah, I have a bigger path. I have to understand who I am in order to have this path. And see, as I kept going on, it was weird because simply put, everybody was like, but you were so good. And I'm like, maybe. But I have to tell the story of failure. And I mean, if you ever went to South Robinson High School, we was a powerhouse for a particular period of time. And, I don't take nothing away from those times. However, I think I was a little bit had too much knowledge for my own good at that time. I saw a bigger picture, but didn't know what the picture was showing me. It was broken. Now I see it, So, like, do something for the kids end up being conceived from the story of a young man wanting to tell the story of his failure and making sure that nobody else made that same mistake. At least you had knowledge, because that's all I wanted back then was knowledge. Like, I wanted to know who I was. I want to know how to get to a certain place. I want to know how to get the money. I want to know how to get to a certain place in life. But nobody wouldn't tell you that stuff. It's like, you need to do this, do that. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what really is going to get me there, along with what you're telling me. And so the hope is that with this, that
I'm so sorry. I was trying to cue you to let you know it was the 25.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that, but then you saw, you looked, you stopped. I was like, I knew, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that guy. We got to make. Oh man. I'm sorry.
All right, so I start back at where I got to tell a story of failure, and I hope it is. So
Okay.
if you can start back on there.
Okay.
So okay. I'm sorry.
So we got. So what we got after this? 5, 10. 5.
We should give us an extra 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
You good?
All right.
You good?
We good.
I'm gonna come back on and talk again anyway, so it don't matter.
Gotcha.
All right. Start over. I can start now.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody had to tell the story of failure, Mr. Stevens.
Mister. Like we ain't known each other for 20 years. He gonna say Mister, because we in front of everybody. Mister, okay.
Sir, I'm professional.
All right.
Hey, y'all knew we weren't gonna be serious for long, y'all. So I'm sorry. You know, he tried to get me to serious. I'm trying to be serious with him because he actually had these questions mapped out. I said, yeah, man, I'm gonna ask you these questions. Have it mapped out with like, nah, we can't be serious for too long. But seriously though, so I had to tell a story of failure. South Bronx and Will Powerhouse, and you know what we knew. There were several players that could have made it big, but unfortunately, in the life of our lives, if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have support, you don't have people backing you, and it's not that we didn't necessarily have support. It's just like you got to feel it. And I'm gonna say this, to be honest with you, I didn't feel it back then. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people didn't feel it. Like, now it's different. It's hand rarely given to the kids. But I was looking at it back then like, who is going to help me understand me and the path I need to take? And so I took a path that probably wasn't the best path I should have took. To some people, it was the best path for me. And so now I believe in guidance. I believe in truth. I believe in perseverance. And so if you haven't failed, you haven't succeeded. And you could tell me all the accolades you have and everything, but I'm going to ask you, what if you failed at? Because that's what I'm more in tune with, So those things right there, that's how I do something for the kids got started. That's how I do something the kids got in the DNA of me. Like all the way back then. And I didn't know this was going to be the name. But I will tell y'all how the name came about though too. Shantario is funny because, we deal with Devil beats a lot. And so watching the Bernie Mac show. Bernie Mac's funny, Lord rest his soul too. But we used to listen to Kanye West College Dropout religiously. Bootleg version, original version, somebody put together a College Dropout version. But we listened to it front and back. We actually got in an accident listening to College Dropout. And that's a story we're going.
I forgot about that CD.
That's a story. That's a story we're gonna give y'all at another time.
Right.
But we got in an accident listening to College Dropout. Kanye West had a skit with Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac got on like, Kanye, we'll do something for the kids. And when Bernie Mac said that, it was like, okay. And I kept listening to it over and over again. So next thing I know, I made 2 beats with do something for the kids in it. And anybody know me, I play my beats over and over again to the point you might not like me no more. You might hate me. I'm sorry. I need to learn my stuff. Yeah. So I kept playing it over and over again. And was like, do something for the kids. Do something for the kids. And it was like, that's it. And not taking nothing away from Bernie Mac or nothing like that, not trying to piggyback on that, but to be honest with y'all, it hit a nerve in my head. And it made me realize, like, you gotta do something. So being even on that college campus, it was like, we always wanted something done for us that was never done for the next generation. And that's all I kept hearing. And so this is where we are today.
Well, let's tell the people how they can help you. How can people assist with something for the Kids Incorporated?
The first thing that anybody can do first to do something for the kids is do something for a kid. And when I say that, it's like, The stuff I don't tell people is the stuff that you actually should hear about. I don't tell people what I donate. I don't tell people what I give out. I did last year with the Thanksgiving and Christmas drives. And thank you everybody that has donated. Too many names to mention, but you can check our Facebook page for the post that I put up. So you can check our website out for things that we have put up about those particular drives. Facebook page, Do Something for the Kids Incorporated. Website is www.ds4kinc.com. But that's the main thing. Give back. If you have knowledge, give it to somebody. If you see a kid is trying to make it, lend a hand. I'm not asking you to give out money. I'm asking you to lend a hand. Money comes and goes. Now, money is needed too. No disrespect. But the first and foremost thing is yourself. Give time. Give knowledge. Give strength. Give encouragement. I still can remember, several people that looked at me and said, "Hey, don't give up." And I'm looking at them like, I didn't know I was giving up, but they saw something. And so that gave me strength. My kids I work with in mental health taught me the most valuable lesson in life is like, you can't judge a book by the cover. I am a prime example of judging a book by a cover. Because you may look at me in certain aspects and like, I didn't know he did this. I didn't know he did that. We ain't even scratched the surface of stuff I've done, or even, I'm about to call him Mr. Stevens, y'all. Watch him gonna beat me up. But even Shantario has done. It's like when people start to realize your worth and your energy is there. And I don't know, people gravitate towards me. So it's like, I want them to be better than me. And I'm pretty sure Shantario could tell you, I've said this several times, I want you to be better than me. Why you want me better than you? It doesn't make no sense for me to be better than you. And we live in this world and you're struggling. I'm doing good. Now, in reality, I'm doing bad, y'all. That's how I look at it. But my badness will not stop any effort or any concerted thought process to get somebody past the level I'm at, because I have this firm belief that if I can get you on a plane better than I am, then we all will be taken care of. Because if we do that across the board, there's no more worries, there's no more hate, there's no more I got to take from you to have what I need. Only thing I need to take from you is a handshake, a smile, and a reception of your knowledge. That's it. Now, as far as donations are needed, and we do take donations, and we'll let y'all know where that donation goes to. We have no hidden factors with it. We show you where that donation goes to. And I'll tell y'all this, I've donated a lot of my time and my own personal money to this cause so we can get this thing started for people to have it. But if people do want to donate, they could donate to our Cash App, $ DS4K INC, as well as $ something, the number 4, DA KIDZ.
Okay. Well, I guess I will say, I don't want to say the last question, but let's say here's the question. What is your favorite memory with DS4K so far? Which is Do Something for the Kids Incorporated.
There's so many, so I'm gonna give you 4, because I actually got a lot. I'm gonna give you 4. The first one was the day I actually received jurisdiction to start Do Something for the Kids. And I'm using jurisdiction because of this. Do Something for the Kids actually started when I was trying to find a protege. Somebody I could lend my knowledge and information and strength to be better than me growing up. And one of my former proteges I actually have worked for. And it's how it's supposed to be. I learned the most from him, besides my cousin in Indiana, about how to structure life, how to get to life, and actually how to be a man. So the beautiful moment was on December 13th, 2019. when my former protege looked at me and said, "Do Something for the Kids" was born on December 13th, 2019. And when he said that, everything started to click. I'm gonna say probably, offhand the day I got my logo. Because before our logo was hashtag DS4K, but I wore it. You see me anywhere that hashtag DS4K was I can't even talk, y'all. Hashtag DS4K was on me everywhere I went. The best day I'm gonna say was, it's kind of a tie. So the day I was able to deliver a Christmas gift to my classmates' children. Once she passed, I realized I had to do something. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, I don't deal with death very well anymore. Life has given me too many bad moments with that. I recently lost my mom. Lord rest her soul, Dorothy W. Brown. She's a real reason why I'm probably still here ticking today, pushing harder than I ever before to let y'all know I do something for the kids. Tristan Rajon Brown as well. But in me saying I don't deal with death well, it's like I don't go to funerals anymore. Like, I actually went to my mom's funeral, and I really won't. And I'm not ashamed to say this. I said I'd never go to another funeral after my son was buried. But life helps you understand different things. And, with the strength of my brothers, my family, everybody that came out, thank you. It helped me get through a lot. But it also was another rebirth to do something for the kids that day. And I know I'm kind of jumping a little bit, and I'm going to say this real quick. When we gave out to those kids, and I'm the type of person, I don't like to put stuff out there. But that day I did. And I was kind of like, why did I do it? But the responses I kept getting from people was like, man, that was a beautiful thing you did. And I'm like, especially when my mom said it to me, where one of her best friends said, your son did something amazing for that girl's children. And I'm like, you know what? It was amazing. But it wasn't about me. It was for those kids. And I made a declaration, every Christmas I'm going to try to do something for those kids. Their birthdays, I'll do something for them. Find me. That's how I tell people, find me. But I guess the best thing was every time I get a call back now from a parent or a child thanking me for something I did, or even looking at me like, hey, you helped me understand this, or you meant this to me in my life. That's important to me now. And I know a lot of them I didn't meet to do something for the kids, but they are do something for the kids. This is basically their legacy that I'm building for them. I want this to be able to live well past me. And the hope is that it will. The hope is that even if this structure is not here no more, the foundation will still be here for people to use. So I'd say that's pretty much, where I'm at with that.
This last question is, how can someone reach you to be a guest on the podcast show?
I'm visible, people. It ain't hard to find me. To be honest with you, I mean, I am Batman, but I don't fully operate like Batman. Don't say that to be funny, y'all. Don't mind me. But if you want to get in touch, you can go to our website, www.ds4kinc.com. In the contact us section, let me make sure I'm right. But if not, go on there, send us a message. We also have our phone numbers on there, 317-296-2170. You could text or call at that number. You can email me at dosomethingforthekids@gmail.com. You can reach us on Instagram at dosomethingforthekids INC, as well as the Facebook page Do Something for the Kids INC. Our Twitter page will be up very soon, so you can reach us on Do Something for the Kids INC there as well. But if you know somebody that know me, tell them you need to talk to me. If you want to talk to me, I'm around. If you see me, stop me. I don't care. If you see Mr. Stevens, yeah, I called you Mr. Stevens.
There you go again. There we go.
Look, y'all, he trying to throw me 5 strikes. I don't care. I'm still gonna call him Mr. Stevens. But if y'all see Shantario, tell him he can get in touch with me, or tell him and we'll make the decision, or he'll make the decision to see how it fits to come on. It's an open invitation, people. If you want to come on and speak about life and your accolades, your achievements, anything that could help somebody be better than you, anything that could help somebody reach a certain goal, we're here. This is your forum to do it. Again, like I said, and right before I put out our podcast, that is now being viewed on the website as well as our social media channels. Share. Everybody has to be willing to share their voice. So we're here to share a voice.
Okay. I guess now we're at the end of the show today. Mr. Brown gave us a lot of insight on who he is and why he's created Do Something for the Kids Incorporated. That's it. I mean, today I was a host. I don't know nothing about that. I guess we'll just have to see how this goes with everybody and how you like it or whatever. But I want to just thank Mr. Brown for allowing me to be on here with him.
Mr. Stevens. I couldn't have picked anybody better, to be honest with you. And we do have 2 other people that have elevated themselves to being guest hosts with us. But this show wouldn't have happened without you. I probably wouldn't have did the show unless you agreed to be my co-host. So again, thank you for allowing me to come on your show today and talk and vibe. Again, we haven't even hit the surface. This is just really an introductory for y'all. I guess the next 2 or 3 shows that we do together.
I don't know. We can tell all the stories though. Some we got to keep to ourselves.
So we're gonna have to keep. So anybody with the UNCP with us, I'm Ernest T. Brown. My nickname is not to be mentioned right now. I'm just joking, but we really want to make sure that we reconnect everybody that we know. Because everybody's got to a certain walk of life at this point in time that I feel like could help the next person. So I want to thank UNC Pembroke for giving us the opportunity to meet each other, and also the opportunity to meet all these great people that have been an extended family to us that we hope to have on, as well as to everybody else from the walks of life that we have met over the years. Like I said, open invitation, people. If you want to come, you have the avenues to reach us. If you have something that you want to give to the people, that's fine. But I do have something I want to say as we're going out, Mr. Stevens. I do have 2 free passes to Defy. Is that the name of it? Defy Gravity?
Defy Gravity. Mm-hmm.
I have 2 free passes, 1-hour passes that I'm trying to give out right now. So whoever reaches out to us or the website, social media, whichever one, those passes are yours. This is what we do. We give back. We don't mind doing it. And we do have some events coming up very soon that we will be talking about in the near future. Thank y'all for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for having me. Thank you for taking over the show.
You're welcome. I just took over for the day, everybody.
He think it's for the day. I'm not gonna show up one day to see if he can actually do this by himself. Yeah, I got him now. He's locked in. He just don't know it.
Well, I appreciate that.